Hi everyone, welcome to Nev Forum. I'm Nordia, and I've got Akofa and Veronica here, and welcome back. So we're just here to talk about how we've managed during COVID and homeschooling with our children. I will start off by giving you my experience, and then I'll invite the other ladies to share their experiences as well of how they've actually managed homeschooling their children during COVID, or whether or not, and you find that we've chosen different paths as well. So key workers children, we were able to make the decision whether or not we would send our children into school, because we were allowed to, because we were frontline staff. But I made the decision not to, purely because I just felt that my daughter is 13 years old, and she was at the age where we could discuss and come up with suggestions and how she can manage this and give her a level of independence. So we basically negotiated. Initially, it was hard because I wanted to control everything, control the time when she woke up, control when she was supposed to log on for school, and how much work or how much time she needed to spend on each of her lessons. But it was really mentally draining to try and manage work-life balance, and especially with the task that, you know, we were all working in an unconventional way at work anyway, and then to try and put that additional pressure at home, it was taking a toll. So for me, I literally spoke with her, had a conversation, and said, you know, just to find out which time of the day she was more productive in terms of getting on with her schoolwork. And it's been working so far, and I haven't got any issues with that. And it's just given her an element of independence. So Veronica, I know that you've got children of two different age group as well. So how have you found homeschooling with your two children?
Well, I have a 14-year-old and a 5-year-old. With a 14-year-old, there's no issues at all because she's able to manage her time effectively. However, with a 5-year-old, it's a nightmare. If you have a 5-year-old that want to do whatever they want to do, they don't want to listen, it's not easy, especially since I'm doing a long day shift, which means I'm getting home around 9 o'clock in the night. So just imagine having to ask a 5-year-old to do a homework, which has to be done and also uploaded onto a system where the teachers can view that you're doing what they've asked you to do. So again, the child is getting tired because they've probably been playing all day whilst I'm at work, and then asking them to do a homework is not really easy. But what works for me is that I tend to log onto the system and see what the other kids are doing, and then I show it to her and say, listen, look at your colleagues. They're actually doing something. They're not only sharing pictures, they're sharing videos as well of what is being done. So then that makes her wants to do more by also participating. So, but it is helping because also it's making me realize that doing whatever the topic is that we're supposed to be doing, I'm also learning not only from what the kids are also doing, but also to benefit myself, because there's so many things that they're doing that I realize that, oh my God, I didn't really even think about it. So again, it's really hard work as a single parent, but at the end of the day, it's my choice not to send her to school because of safety reason. I didn't want her to go to school and end up having to catch anything, because I'm risking myself at the moment going to work, which I have no choice but to do because that's what I'm signed to do. So I felt that it would be safe for her to stay home and for me to homeschool. So I have to do it.
So yeah, you're similar to me.
Yeah.
That was the choice I made as well. So Akofa, how did you find, or how have you been finding your children in terms of during this COVID?
So I didn't choose to homeschool, and that's not necessarily by choice. It's based on situation. So my children went to school. But in terms of them going, I take them to school in the mornings, and to mitigate them being on public transport quite a lot, they come home on their own, or their dad will pick them up, or their dad will take them to school. So it just balances out that way. And the reason I made that, well, it wasn't really a choice, but what was safest for me, although the the pandemic, it was just about weighing out the odds. In terms of childcare or child supervision, because my children are 12, it would normally be my mum that would help out in that respect. But because she was in the elderly category of vulnerable people 70 and over, I couldn't put her at risk. And also the PM had also said that grandparents shouldn't be childcare alternatives. So hence why it was the choice was that they had to go to school, because leaving them at home, they're quite naughty. It's they want this, they like to do things that they shouldn't really be doing, and I'll probably come back and the flat will be burnt down or something, just because they're so mischievous. So it was just, when I say safety, in terms of that, having adult supervision during the day. And I mean, for them, initially it was difficult. It was like, why are you a key worker? Why do we have to go to school? None of my friends are at school, all the usual things. And going from a school that's got over 1,000 children to having maybe 7 to 10 initially, whereas now the numbers have gone up, they felt really victimized that they were the only ones going to school. But saying that now, they're quite happy going to school. We've got all the safety things in place. When they're coming home, they use a face mask. On public transport, they've got their hand sanitizer. At school, they're social distancing. And they now, they're not so reliant on being taught, because they're learning how to self-direct themselves. So, I'm not having to say, do this, do that. Instead it's like, we've done this and this is what we've learned today. So they're actually able to say what they've learned. They're getting praise from the teachers. I get emails saying how well they're doing and presenting their work, their prep, their homework. So yeah, I mean, it's a difficult choice, and people might think that I'm crazy for sending them to school, but I have to do what suits my lifestyle, and that was it really. And they've been safe. None of us have been ill, which I'm very grateful for, because I'm exposing myself and then I'm exposing my children. So, but thankfully we've been fine. So.
I mean, and that is a thing, because it is a choice that we have to weigh up what is best for us. And clearly, if you've got children who, you have to maintain their safety, because for me, I've had family around. So that is why it was not a priority for me to send my daughter. But I can just imagine if you don't have that, then definitely, if I didn't have the support I have around, then definitely she would have to go to school as well. So it is what we have to make that decision. And I'm sure it was a hard decision to make as well anyway. But one thing that I like is that this period has actually helped our children to be independent learners, because I can simply say that for my daughter, she's just basically have grown in the timing, managing her time, as what you've said earlier. And I just think that we as parents sometimes don't give our children enough credit. And the questions I had to deal with as well in terms of COVID, why did you have to be a nurse? Could you not have done something else, because other parents are home with their children? And these were some of the challenges. So I'm sure you guys have had similar questions as well from your children. So it's one of those things. So how are they now, though, in terms of your girls, Kofa?
No, they're fine. For them, it's just normal now. It's no, because obviously the lockdown happened before the Easter holiday. So before that, I had battles. It was like constantly. One of them was all right, but the other one, yeah, she really went for the juggler. Every day it was just constant. And then we had the Easter holidays. I was off during that period. I took some time, my annual leave, and we were at home. It was cabin fever, and that time it was when it was peaking. So I didn't want to go out, even though the weather was okay-ish. I didn't want to go out because I know what's happening in a hospital. And, you know, every day, if I go, not every day, when I go to the supermarket, people do ask, because I had my ID badge, oh, is it really as bad as the media? So I'm like, it's worse. They're not telling you that what is actually going on in hospital. So anyway, cut a long story short, when we was getting to the end of the Easter holidays, I said to them, I just thought I'll throw this out there and say, do you want to stay at home? Let's see what we can sort out, and then you don't have to go to school. And they both said, no, we want to go to school. So that was quite reassuring for myself, that actually they've realised what's happening and they're adjusting to what's going on. But funny enough, sorry, I know I'm talking a lot, but funny enough, now that they're saying schools will be, children will be going back to school, they're now a bit worried that there's going to be more children. What are we going to do then? Where are we going to go? Because they're in the computer labs doing their work, and they're enjoying that. And it's like, oh, so we're going to go back to the classroom? Are they going to be able to social distance? These kind of questions. But we haven't got to that stage yet, so we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But they're fine. They're all right.
That's good. That's good. So what about you then, your girls, Veronica?
Nothing has changed really. The only thing is, because I do long days, I have some days off during the week. So I find that we're doing more on the days that I'm off from work. So it makes her feel really tired, but at the end of the day, we still have to do it because it has to be uploaded onto the system. So what I try to do is, when I'm at work, I get my partner to help me with some of the work that I feel that she can do without me being there. But apart from that, on my days off, I do most of the work because it has to be done. And she is really, really stubborn. She doesn't really listen to anybody. So I have to do it myself. This is why I'm having the issue in regards to homeschooling, because I have to do it myself. And because she's my daughter, I'm able to discipline her in a certain way that will make her understand that it has to be done. And then also bribe her by giving her something that she wants. So that seems to work a lot. Just give them whatever they want and let them do the work. So that's what works for me anyway. It's not going to work for everybody, but it does work for me.
I don't call it bribing though, Veronica. It's negotiation.
Well, so it's not. No, I don't negotiate with her because she says to me, "Mommy, I want ice cream after I study." I say, "Yeah, you can have it." So that's not negotiation in my book, because it's whatever she wants.
Just negotiating with you.
Yeah, that's true. Whatever she wants, she gets. So now I know that she knows that when she asks, she will get it. So I try not to give her all the time. So that's when the discipline comes in play. So at the moment, I'll say to her, listen, if you don't do this, you're going to go to the room and you're going to stay there for like 10 minutes by yourself, which she doesn't like. So she will then do it. So we are learning from each other. She's trying to take some advantage of me, and I'm also doing the same. And I find out that I get to know exactly what she wants. She gets to know exactly what mommy wants. So she will do things that will not upset mommy. So that's the way it works. So.
Yeah. But you know what though, is like homeschooling is very challenging, and I respect all your teachers of putting up with my child and our children throughout this period, because I don't know how some teachers deal with some of our children. So I literally take my hat off, because homeschooling has been challenging. Good to say that my child is not as young as your youngest one. So I've gone past that stage, but it's still been challenges where I've had to do negotiation as well. And once the talk of start coming back for reopening school, then that will be another conversation, because it means that we will need to now look at different levels of anxiety in terms of other children, social distancing, etc. And the whole thing goes on. Are they going to wear a mask? But like what Akofa says, let's not worry about that now. But we just wanted to share with you how we have been throughout the COVID period, given the fact that we've got our jobs as nurses and juggling frontline work with family life. And we've managed to do it, and I'm sure we will be continuing to do what we do best, caring for people and also our family. So thank you for watching our session today. But please subscribe. You know where to find us, and like us. So at least when we share any more videos, you will be first in line. Thank you. Goodbye from us, and have a good day.
Bye.